Good evening, guys, and happy Friday to all of your sunshiny faces. Sorry for the mess, guys. I'm gonna go take a shower and get to bed. I ended up waking up insanely late because I was not feeling good at all. I had an insanely horrible neck ache that was causing a horrible headache to top that off. And so when I finally got up, actually my mom gave me a neck massage and I felt so much better. And also too, the really weird thing was that I actually got up and then was like, oh my gosh, my head hurts so bad. And I was like, I need to like lay back down and hopefully make this thing go away. I woke up again later around like sometime after 10 o'clock. But I woke up originally like 8. And then, like I said, I woke up again at like sometime after 10 o'clock, like 11 maybe or something like that. And was like, oh my gosh, my head still hurts. And I was like, you know, but I was like, I'm gonna get up and feed the dogs. I was like, I'm gonna lay back down if I still don't feel good. As soon as I got up, my headache went away. And I was like, that is probably because, like I said, it was from my neck, like the way I was laying or something like that. Not only that though, but it has caused pain in my lower back on top of that too. And like my lower back has also been hurting me a ton today. So, like I said, that was really like unfortunate, uncomfortable, and like I said, I didn't really realize that my headache was being caused a lot by like laying down, and so if I would have gotten up earlier, I probably wouldn't have been in so much pain for so long as well. And then I also took a Tylenol when I actually got up, but the thing was that I didn't want to take it on an empty stomach, so I was like, I need to get up and make myself something to eat before I can actually take it. And so I was like, I need to at least be in enough comfort that I can get up to make myself something to eat to be able to take the Tylenol so I can get some relief. So sort of a vicious cycle. Like I said, I ended up sleeping in sort of late today because of that. But on top of that, I told you guys my parents went away for a little weekend trip, and so it was me and Matthew and Jack home, but Jack actually ended up going over to one of his friend's house tonight for a little while. Like they went swimming, I guess, and stuff like that. But before that, my parents left like right around the time Jack needed to get picked up from school, like around 3 o'clock or so, maybe actually a little bit before they picked him up, because it was, I think it was just me and Matthew that were here, and so they went and picked him up around, or Matthew left to go pick Jack up at about 3 o'clock and went and got us Chipotle, and then it was funny too, because I was like, Matthew, you know what we should do? We should get, because we've been getting Dairy Queen just about every weekend. And so since Matthew came back on Saturday night of last week, he wasn't here when we went and got Dairy Queen last weekend. So I was like, Matthew, we should get it, like, you know, on this Saturday, because me and my dad and Jack have went now 3 weeks in a row, or 2 weeks in a row, and I was like, we can't break tradition. I was like, we're gonna have to go to Dairy Queen again and go get some blizzards from Dairy Queen. And so I was like, honestly, it's gonna look like we just could not cook for ourselves this entire weekend. And we ended up going out and like getting ice cream for dinner one night, Chipotle the other night, you know, like I said, well, my parents are gone, so I'm sure we'll be able to come up with something. But like I said, as far as my grocery hauls and all that goes, honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna wind up going this week. I a lot of times end up going with my dad, and like I wasn't thinking about this ahead of time and planning any of this out either, as to like, oh well, me and Matthew are gonna have to go on this day because of this. Like we could have actually probably have went to like Valley Produce, Caputo's, and Aldi earlier in the week. But then too, like I was telling you guys too, me and my mom had to run errands yesterday, and then they were leaving today, so I also didn't know what that was gonna look like. Like I didn't want to end up going during the day today if they were here and or they weren't here and Jack wasn't, we didn't pick Jack up from school yet, like if they ended up leaving at like 1 o'clock or something, and that's when me and Matthew ended up going, because then the dogs would be here for a while without us or anybody else, and like them leaving, you know, instead of like us just coming back home, you know, like I said, just running out and them like actually leaving, like I don't even know if they would have remembered to have like locked the dogs up or anything like that, because they would have just thought we were coming right back, and wouldn't have known how long how much longer we were going to be gone or whatever. So like I said, it was just sort of like a whole thing, and so probably should have planned it out a little bit better, but yeah, I don't know sort of what we're gonna wind up doing and all of that. So yeah, like I said, I don't really know. I didn't end up getting to a whole ton of stuff today. No real like dishes, laundry, or editing or uploading or anything like that. But I told you guys I was actually able to get some of that editing done yesterday when I was not planning on it, but ended up actually getting that done, which was pretty cool. So and then today, like I said, I just was being lazy. Once like well, I guess when Matthew came back from getting Jack and when he got Chipotle, then we just ended up actually hanging out in the living room and we're just playing video games, and we were gonna watch the Cubs game, but we ended up doing that instead. And then tomorrow I think we're gonna wind up watching the fights because Matthew really wants to watch it. And so he actually thought that they were on tonight, or maybe there was some other type of fights that were on tonight, but not the big one, like the pay-per-view one, which we're not going to pay for. We're probably just watch like the prelims or whatever. But it's so weird. I'm super and have never really been into like UFC fighting or boxing or like anything like that. For some reason lately I've just been watching it, and I was like, I really don't know why. Like, I don't like watching it. Like, that's one of the few sports really that I'm not hugely into. But for some reason, I don't know why, I just have been watching it. Like, my dad watches it all the time on the weekends, and my mom has lately been like, oh, is there fights on this weekend? You know, like any good ones, you know, all that kind of stuff. And so she has been into watching it recently, and so since her and my dad have been watching it, I've been like, okay, I guess I'll come in the living room and watch it, you know, that whole kind of thing. And so like I've been sort of watching it too, where I was like, I don't really even enjoy watching it that much, but for some reason I just have. So and Matthew is really into it. Jack, I think, could kind of take it or leave it, sort of like me too, but for him I think it's just sort of like, oh, it's on, we'll watch it sort of thing. He only really cares about like big name people fights, you know, like more like pay-per-view sort of ones. And like I said, though, Matthew seems like he's sort of watched like any of them, but he was like, oh, we should watch them tonight. And I was like, we couldn't find it. And then I was like, oh, it says it's on Saturday night. And he was like, oh, like, and he was like, are you sure there's no other ones on? I was like, I don't know. And if there was, I couldn't find them. So yeah, like I said, that's really what we ended up doing for today. Not too much, but yeah, like I said, just our Chipotle for dinner. That was the extent of the excitement for today. And like I said, the fact that my parents won't be here all weekend. They're coming back at some point on Sunday. Ended up leaving, you know, afternoon today. And like I said, I'll probably be back at some point on Sunday. Probably not too late too. I was like, they'll honestly probably be gone for like 48 hours. But my mom was making like this huge big deal about like all this stuff. She's like, okay, now like don't forget to feed the dogs. And I was like, I do that every morning. I was like, it's because you're not here, I'm gonna randomly forget to like feed them, you know. And she's like, make sure they have water, you know, like we're like the house sitters or something like that. I was like, you don't have to tell us to take care of our normal responsibilities that normally, you know, we take care of anyway in the house. I don't know, it's just really weird. It's not like my parents haven't gone away either, like just the two of them or anything like that either, or like have been gone for like an extended, like, you know, like they went to a concert not too long ago. This was like pre-COVID though, but they ended up going to a concert like maybe 2 or 3 years ago or something like that. That was like a late, like they were gone most of the day and then like really late into like night or early morning or whatever, you know. And so I was like, you know, like that kind of stuff, like we're used to being here, like we live in the house, like you don't have to remind us or tell us like, oh yeah, you know, you have to get this stuff done or do that. The only thing I will say that actually prompted me to remember was that we have to feed the fish. My dad normally does that in the mornings before he even leaves for work, or on the weekends when he wakes up early. And so the fact that he's not going to be here, I saw one of them swimming around in the tank and I was like, oh yeah, I can't forget that we have to feed the fish in the morning. So that's one of the things that like nobody reminded anybody about. Like I said, the dogs are like the thing, like I will make sure I remember, you know, they have to go outside, they have to eat, they need water. Those are, you know, the big three. I totally sort of glazed over the fish. Like even my mom was like, okay, you need to take care of the house plants and everything like that too, which I had to water her orchid because we got it last week. It has to be watered about once a week. And so we bought it for her last week and she hadn't watered it at all this week. So I was like, I should make sure I do that. So I did that actually today. Like I said, totally glazed over the fish, but luckily, like I said, you know, my dad fed them earlier today. And I just, like I said, nobody reminded me that that was the thing that needed to still happen. So, but like I said, I remembered that, that was, I do need to take care of that. So, yes, anyways, so I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a gold thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.